Beloved, rise up and shake the dust from your feet. You were not placed here to shrink beneath the weight of expectation, to press your back against the cold walls of fear, waiting for a hand to pull you into a life too small for your soul. No, you were not made to beg for a place in a world that was already yours. Step boldly, not as one who asks permission, but as one who carries the keys to every door. Your hands were not meant to be clasped in quiet pleading. They were meant to build, to mold, to create something new where once there was nothing. Too long, too often you have been told to search, to seek to grasp for something already beneath your feet. The very ground on which you stand is rich with the fruit of your own making. So why wait? Why search for a seat at the table when your spirit was designed to carve one from the very trees of possibility? You are not meant to knock on closed doors with trembling hands, hoping they will swing open in welcome. No, you are meant to build, to stand in the light of your own becoming, to let your work speak louder than your words. There is no need to search for a place to fit when you were shaped to stand apart. So stand. Stand in the fullness of your calling. Stand in the assurance that what you need, you already possess. Stand in the certainty that the road will rise to meet you. Not because you sought it, but because you created it with every courageous step forward. No more waiting. No more searching. You were not made to look. You were made to be. You were not made to seek approval. You were not placed here to bow your head, to wait in the shadows of someone else's permission, to whisper your dreams and hope they are met with kind ears. No, that was never the plan. You were formed with a purpose so vast, so powerful, that no earthly validation could ever define it. The moment you begin to seek the approval of others, you hand over the keys to your own destiny. You trade your wings for chains. You silence the voice within you that has always known the way. The world has told you since the moment you arrived that your worth must be measured by the acceptance of others. It has dressed this lie in 1,000 disguises, wrapped it in expectations, woven it into the fabric of daily life. Approval is painted as success. It is whispered into the ears of children who are taught to please, to comply, to perform for praise. It is ingrained into the steps of those who walk paths not of their own choosing, but of the choosing of those who sat in comfort before them. And so many shrink. They learn to shape themselves to fit the mold that others have set, believing that to be embraced by the world is to be worthy. But there comes a time when the spirit within you can no longer be contained. There comes a moment when the voice inside grows louder than the voices outside, when the truth rises up and declares itself unwilling to be ignored. That is the moment of awakening. That is the moment when you must decide. Will you continue to seek the approval of those who do not carry your vision? Will you continue to wait for permission to be what you already are? Or will you stand unshaken in the knowing that your worth has never been up for debate? You must understand no one can give you what you already possess. No validation, no nod of approval, no applause will ever make you more than what you were created to be. If you measure yourself by the standards of others, you will always fall short, not because you lack, but because their measurements were never meant for you. You were crafted uniquely, divinely, with a path that only your feet can walk. The moment you allow someone else to define you, you begin to lose yourself. There will always be voices that tell you what you should do, how you should act, what dreams are acceptable, what risks are too great. Those voices do not speak for you. They do not know the fire that burns in your soul, the dreams that have been planted within you like seeds waiting for the right season to bloom. If you live for their approval, you will die by their rejection. If you build your life on their acceptance, you will crumble under their disapproval. Do not seek what is fleeting. Do not chase what was never meant to be your guide. You do not need to be understood to be valid. You do not need to be applauded to be great. Some of the greatest souls to ever walk this earth were ridiculed, dismissed, cast aside because their vision was too vast for the small minds that surrounded them. They did not wait for permission. They did not dim their light to ease the discomfort of others. They walked forward boldly even when they walked alone. And in time, the world followed. You are not meant to ask for space. You are meant to take it. You are not meant to lower your voice. You are meant to let it ring. Your existence is not something to be questioned, debated, or approved. It is something to be lived fully, unapologetically, with a knowing that shakes the very ground beneath you. The world does not give worth. The world only recognizes what was already there. Do not wait for it to see you before you see yourself. Many will try to mold you into their idea of who you should be. They will press their fears onto you, disguised as wisdom. They will speak of limits, of caution, of fitting in, as though safety was ever the path to greatness. They will try to convince you that your boldness is arrogance, that your confidence is defiance, that your unwillingness to shrink is rebellion. Let them say what they will. Their words are not your burden to carry. Their expectations are not yours to fulfill. The only thing that matters is the truth you carry within you, the purpose that beats in your chest, the unshaken certainty that you were not made to seek approval, but to walk in your own power. No one else was given your vision. No one else was assigned your call. The blueprint for your life was not handed to the world for editing. It was placed within you, a divine map that only your heart can read. You do not need permission to follow it. You do not need validation to move. You only need the courage to trust that what is within you is enough. There is a freedom that comes when you stop waiting to be seen, when you stop hoping to be chosen, when you stop seeking the nod of approval from those who could never fully understand the depths of what you carry. That freedom is yours for the taking. It has been waiting for you all along. It does not come from being liked, from being praised, from being accepted. It comes from the moment you decide fully and completely that you are enough as you are. It comes when you recognize that the only approval you ever needed was your own. You are not small. You are not incomplete. You are not in need of validation from hands that did not create you. You were formed whole, designed with purpose, meant to walk boldly in the fullness of who you are. The world will try to tell you otherwise. Do not listen. Stand firm. Stand tall. Stand in the knowing that you were never made to seek approval. You were made to be. You were not placed here to wait, to sit idly by while the world moves around you, hoping that someone will hand you a place, a purpose, a path. No, that was never meant to be your story. You were made to create. You were given hands that can shape, a mind that can build, a spirit that can birth something from nothing. But too often, too many wait. They wait for the right moment, for the right opportunity, for the right person to say, now you may begin. But time does not wait, and life does not pause for those who hesitate. If you spend your days searching, seeking, grasping for something already within your reach, you will find yourself forever chasing shadows. What you are looking for does not exist outside of you. There is no perfect opportunity waiting for you to find it. There is no single door that must be opened before you can step into your greatness. You must build the door. You must carve the path. You must take what is within you and mold it into something real, something undeniable, something that cannot be ignored. Do not look outward with longing eyes, wishing for what others have built. Look inward, see what has already been planted within you, and begin. The world is filled with those who wait. They wait for permission, for validation, for a sign that tells them they are ready. But readiness is not something that comes from the outside. Readiness is something you claim. It is something you decide. The moment you stop looking and start doing, you declare to the world that you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are choosing yourself. And that choice is the most powerful thing you will ever make. Do not be deceived by the illusion that you must follow a path that has already been walked. Do not be fooled into thinking that success is found only by seeking what already exists. True greatness does not come from finding. It comes from creating. It comes from those who see what is missing and dare to build it. It comes from those who refuse to accept what is given and instead shape what is needed. Comes from those who understand that their purpose is not to fit into a world that was not made for them, but to create a world that matches the vision inside them. If you spend your life searching for what someone else has built, you will always be a step behind. You will always be following, always reaching, always hoping to be let in. But you were not meant to follow. You were meant to lead. You were meant to create. There is no key you must find, no gatekeeper you must convince, no approval you must gain. There is only the work, the effort, the commitment to bring forth what only you can bring. Think of the great creators, the visionaries, the ones whose names are remembered long after they are gone. They did not wait. They did not seek what already existed. They built what had never been seen before. They looked around and saw what was missing, and instead of searching for it, they made it. They took the raw materials of their dreams, their talents, their passion, and they shaped something new. That same power exists in you. That same ability, that same fire, that same potential. It is already there, waiting for you to use it. But too often, fear stands in the way. Fear whispers that you are not ready, that you do not know enough, that you must learn more, prepare more, seek more before you begin. Fear will keep you searching forever if you let it. It will keep you looking outward, hoping to find an answer that has been inside you all along. Fear will tell you that what you build may fail, that it may not be enough, that it may not be accepted. But creation is not about acceptance. It is not about guarantees. It is about taking what is within you and bringing it into the world, no matter how it is received. The greatest tragedy is not failure. It is not rejection. It is not falling short of a goal. The greatest tragedy is never beginning. It is spending a lifetime looking instead of doing, searching instead of making, hoping instead of acting. Do not let that be your story. Do not let your gifts remain buried beneath doubt, beneath hesitation, beneath the false belief that what you seek is something to be found rather than something to be made. There is no perfect moment. There is no perfect opportunity. There is only now. And now is always enough. The only thing that separates those who create from those who search is the decision to begin, to take what is inside and bring it into the world imperfectly, boldly, with the understanding that creation is not about getting it right the first time. It's about having the courage to start. You will not always know the way. You will not always be certain. But certainty is not required for action. Perfection is not required for progress. The only requirement is willingness. The willingness to step forward even when the path is unclear. The willingness to build even when you do not know what the final shape will be. The willingness to trust that what you create will be enough because it came from you. There will be those who question you. There will be those who doubt, who tell you that you are wasting your time, that you should follow, that you should seek instead of build. But their doubts are not your burden. Their fears are not your responsibility. The only thing that matters is that you do not let their voices drown out your own. The only thing that matters is that you do not let their hesitation become your hesitation. You are not missing anything. You are not incomplete. You do not need to wait for more knowledge, more skill, more experience before you begin. Everything you need is already within you. You must trust that. You must believe that. You must step forward with the understanding that what you build will grow, that what you create will evolve, that what you begin will become something greater than you could have imagined, but only if you start. Do not look at the world with long. Do not spend your days searching for a place to fit. You were not meant to fit. You were meant to create. You were meant to build something new, something that carries your spirit, something that reflects the truth of who you are. That power is yours. That responsibility is yours. There will be challenges. There will be obstacles. There will be moments when you wonder if it is easier to follow, to seek, to search instead of build. But remember this, nothing worth having is ever given freely. Nothing lasting is ever found. It is shaped through effort, through persistence, through the unwavering belief that what you are creating is worth it. You do not need to look for an opportunity. You are the opportunity. You do not need to wait for a chance. You are the chance. You do not need to search for a way in. You are the way. You are the creator. You are the builder. You are the one who decides what comes next. So take what is inside you and bring it forth. Take what has been given to you and use it. Stop searching. Stop waiting. Stop seeking what has already been placed within you. Begin. Build. Create. You were never meant to blend into the background, to mold yourself into a shape that pleases others, to walk a path that has already been paved by someone else's hands. You were not designed to fit in. You were shaped to stand apart, to carve your own way, to live a life that is uniquely, powerfully, unmistakably yours. And yet, how often do people shrink themselves, quiet their voices, dim their own light, all in the hopes of being accepted, of belonging, of feeling as though they are part of something that was never meant for them in the first place? There is a world that exists beyond the fear of rejection, beyond the need for approval, beyond the desperate grasping for a place to belong. That world is yours to step into, but only if you have the courage to let go of the idea that you must fit in to be worthy. You were not created to be like everyone else. You were not given your thoughts, your dreams, your abilities so that they could be pressed into the same mold as 1,000 others. No, you were made differently, deliberately, intentionally, because what you bring into this world is something no one else can. It is not an accident that you think the way you do. It is not a mistake that your dreams are larger than what others believe is possible. It is not a coincidence that you feel restless in places where others seem comfortable. That is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you were made for something greater, something beyond the ordinary, something that does not require you to seek permission or validation. The world will try to convince you that safety lies in sameness. It will tell you that to be accepted, you must soften your edges, quiet your voice, follow the well-worn path that has been laid out before you. It will whisper that those who stand apart are too different, too bold, too much. But do not be fooled. There is no safety in shrinking yourself. There is no true belonging in betraying who you are. The only real security comes from standing fully in your truth, from embracing what makes you different, from refusing to apologize for the way you were designed. Think of all the ones who came before you, the ones whose names live on, not because they fit in, but because they refused to. They were told they were too much. They were told their dreams were impossible. They were told to stay quiet, to stay small, to follow the rules of a world that had no place for them. But they did not listen. They did not let the fear of rejection keep them from stepping into the fullness of their purpose. And because of that, they changed the world. The moment you stop trying to fit in, the moment you embrace what makes you different, is the moment you step into your power. That is the moment you begin to see that the things that once made you feel out of place are the very things that make you extraordinary. That is the moment you realize that you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to shine. There is no one else who can bring what you bring. There is no one else who carries what you carry. You were made to stand apart, to walk a path that is yours alone, to live in a way that is true to you and no one else. Do not waste another moment trying to be anything less than exactly who you are. The world does not need more people who fit in. It needs more people who are willing to stand out. You have waited long enough. You have watched the clock tick, telling yourself that one day the right moment will come, the right opportunity will appear, the right set of circumstances will align, and then you will begin. But time does not wait, and neither should you. Whatever you are waiting for, permission, certainty, approval, assurance, it will not come the way you think it will. The only way forward is to step forward. The only way to claim what is meant for you is to walk toward it. Even when the path is unclear, even when the ground beneath you shakes, even when fear grips your heart and tells you to turn back, you must move. You must begin. You must trust that what is ahead is greater than what you leave behind. Lisa, you have been given everything you need. The strength, the wisdom, the courage, it is already within you, waiting to be used, waiting to be activated. But potential means nothing without action. Power is useless if it is never exercised. You can dream, you can hope, you can plan, but until you take that first step, until you commit fully, nothing changes. Nothing happens. The world does not shift for those who hesitate. It does not open its doors for those who merely wish. It rises to meet those who dare to walk in their power. And make no mistake, power is not something you find. It is something you claim. It is not given by the world, nor is it granted by others. It does not come from titles, from status, from external validation. It comes from within. It comes from the moment you decide once and for all that you are enough as you are, that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you do not need to wait for someone to choose you because you have already chosen yourself. There will be doubt. There will be moments when you question yourself, when the voices of others creep into your mind, whispering that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that you should sit down. Wait your turn. Take the safer path. Do not listen. Doubt is a liar. Fear is a thief. They will steal your dreams if you let them. They will shrink your world until it is small enough to fit inside the expectations of others. But you were not made to live small. You were not made to let fear dictate your choices. You were made to step forward even when you are uncertain, even when you are afraid. Greatness does not come to those who wait for the perfect moment. It comes to those who create the moment, who move despite uncertainty, who walk into the unknown with nothing but faith in themselves and the belief that they were made for more. It comes to those who refuse to let fear paralyze them, who take action even when their hands shake, even when their voices tremble, even when the outcome is uncertain. It is not about never being afraid. It is about refusing to let fear make your decisions for you. And yes, there will be failure. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when things do not go as planned, when doors close, when the road ahead seems too steep, too uncertain, too filled with obstacles. But failure is not the enemy. Failure is the proof that you are trying, that you are moving, that you are stepping into the arena rather than sitting on the sidelines, watching life pass you by. Every setback is a lesson. Every closed door is redirection. Every stumble is a stepping stone. You cannot fail if you refuse to quit. You cannot lose if you refuse to stop. The only true failure is never trying at all. There will be those who do not understand your journey. There will be those who question your choices, who tell you that you should take a safer path, that you should wait, that you should be more realistic. But their voices are not your guide. Their doubts are not your burden. The only voice that matters is the one inside of you, the one that knows what you are capable of, the one that has always known. You were never meant to live on the sidelines of your own life. You were never meant to watch from the edges, waiting, hoping, wondering what could be. You were made to take up space, to walk boldly, to own your existence fully. The moment you decide that you are worthy, the moment you choose yourself, the moment you stop waiting for the world to tell you that you are ready, that is the moment everything changes. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when everything is certain, when every doubt has disappeared, when every fear has been erased. The only thing you can do is begin. The only thing you can do is take the step in front of you, and then the next, and then the next, until one day you look back and realize that you have built something extraordinary simply because you refused to stand still. You do not need permission. You do not need to wait another second. You already have everything you need. The only thing left to do is walk in your power fully, completely, without hesitation, without fear. The world belongs to those who step forward. And now it is your turn.